The numbers don't lie, and they're painting a devastating picture for the current administration. While ongoing controversies continue to dominate headlines, polling data reveals an unprecedented collapse in presidential support that's rewriting the political playbook. Welcome back to Politics and Economy USA. The latest approval ratings show a historic decline that's sending shockwaves through Washington, while early 2028 presidential speculation is already heating up with surprising frontrunners emerging. The data we're about to examine represents one of the most dramatic political shifts in modern American history.
This is the biggest warning sign, the biggest danger sign for President Trump in his second term so far. Why is that? Because it does not appear that there is a bottom to which Donald's support can't fall to. What are we talking about? Trump's net approval rating with independents. You know, there was all this hubbub about Gallup that came out this past week. You see, back in January, it was minus 2 points. Now it's minus 35 points. But what's important here is Gallup is largely matching the average. Back in January, in the average, Trump's net approval rating with independents was minus 3. Look at where it's fallen to now, minus 29 points. That is a drop of over 25 points with the key part of the electorate. If you're not winning among independents, you're probably not winning overall. And when your net approval rating's minus 29 points, you're definitely not winning overall when you're that low with independents.
It's just the size of the drop. It's staggering.
It's huge.
Okay, so how does this compare historically?
Yeah, you know, we were talking about Trump's overall approval rating, that it was the second worst overall. But we look among independents, it is the worst on record at this point. My goodness gracious, worst net approval ratings ever 6 months in among independents. Last time around, Trump broke the all-time record at minus 23 points. He is even lower than that now. At minus 29 points, he has broken his own record for the worst on record. As I said at the beginning, there appears to be no fall, and Trump is certainly falling through that floor.
So during the Biden administration, I think there was a lot of thinking that maybe enough focus wasn't being paid to the effect that inflation had on people's thinking. And it may very well be that inflation's playing a bigger role in opinions than we recognize.
Yeah, so inflation in my mind was what cost Joe Biden the presidency more than any other factor, and it brought him down. But guess what? Donald Trump at this point, his net approval rating on inflation among independents, it's actually worse than Biden's was a year ago. Biden was way, way underwater at minus 38 points. But look at Trump and the average of polls on inflation. Oh my goodness gracious, minus 45 points.
These numbers represent more than just poor polling. They signal a fundamental shift in how Americans view presidential leadership during times of economic uncertainty. The combination of tariff impacts, ongoing investigations, and policy controversies has created a perfect storm of disapproval that's breaking historical records. What makes this particularly significant is the timing. We're only 6 months into the current term, and the full effects of recent economic policies haven't even materialized yet. This suggests the political landscape could become even more challenging for the administration. Meanwhile, the Democratic Party faces its own organizational challenges without a clear standard bearer. However, early indicators suggest this leadership vacuum may soon be filled. The search for the next Democratic nominee for president in 2028 has already begun, with some surprising names emerging at the top. Recent political betting markets have released updated predictions for the Democratic nominee for president in 2028, and the results reveal interesting trends in party preference. California Governor Gavin Newsom leads these early predictions, followed by Congresswoman Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez in second place, former Transportation Secretary Pete Buttigieg in third, Kentucky Governor Andy Beshear in fourth, and Pennsylvania Governor Josh Shapiro in fifth. Governors Gretchen Whitmer and Wes Moore also appear in these projections, each with approximately 5% probability. What's particularly noteworthy is Andy Beshear's recent surge, showing a 4% increase in just the past week, suggesting growing momentum among political observers.
The inclusion of AOC in second place, while generating significant attention, raises questions about electability given historical precedent. Only one president, James Garfield, has ever been elected directly from the House to the presidency, and that occurred over a century ago. This suggests that gubernatorial experience may carry more weight in actual primary contests than current speculation indicates. These early predictions carry weight beyond mere speculation. They reflect how political operatives and informed observers view the changing dynamics within the Democratic Party. The prominence of governors in these rankings suggests a preference for executive experience over legislative backgrounds. For the current administration, these developments represent a dual challenge. Record-low approval ratings combined with an energized opposition party preparing for the next election cycle creates a difficult political environment. The emphasis on aggressive opposition leadership suggests the next Democratic administration would likely pursue comprehensive policy reversals. The convergence of historically poor approval ratings and early 2028 developments creates a unique political moment. When approval numbers reach these depths, while the opposition party begins organizing around potential successors, it signals a broader shift in American political sentiment that extends beyond typical partisan cycles. That's our analysis for Politics and Economy USA. If these polling trends and early 2028 developments caught your attention, make sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell. We'll be tracking these numbers as they evolve. What do you think about these approval ratings and early Democratic frontrunners? Share your predictions in the comments below. Your insights help shape our future coverage. See you next time.